really helps me to photograph things and have a look at them again. And I can see now I really want to start building up some of the brighter colour, because the colours I really liked were this. And when I stepped away and looked, these are really quite rich pinky mauves. I'm not even sure, this might be too bright, but we'll see. But what I do want to do is get all of this looking reasonable, because it looks a real mess at the moment. So how am I going to start that? I'm going to start with this sort of colour in here. So we need to get a bit more of that, I think. In between my trees. I want to keep some of it poking through, but not all of it. I've still actually got some paper showing through here. And this is real trial and error. I don't like this colour here that I've got underneath. There's quite a bit of this colour up here. I'm probably going to end up coming back and putting some more blue in, more sky colour. As we said, I'm going to have to sharpen up that edge again, because that doesn't have leaves coming across it in the same way. And although this is one of the brightest areas, I don't want it pulling my eye off the page. So I'm probably going to dull that down a little bit. This is quite a cool green. And I'm really, really lightly scumbling. I think that's better. That's dulled that down. And it's setting it back a bit as well. Okay, I think that's better. And then I'll be able to go back in with some colour over the top. Okay. And I can firm up some of the outlines of my trees as we go. I don't know what's going on here, nothing really. So what do we need to do here? Bit of light coming through there. some interesting little, just little light marks, and it's trying to capture those. So they are going to go in over the top, I think. But first of all, I still want to make this look a bit better. That's not green enough. Put some of that in. And then some of this much cooler green. That's dulled that down a bit because that was looking really garish to me, that. Right, now what are we doing in here? This is a whole other mess here. It's a very unsubtle colour down here. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. Still not great. Yeah, it looks like completely different woods because I've got different colours in different places, and nothing kind of, there's no cohesion to it, nothing joins together properly. Yeah, I prefer that to this limey one actually. Some sky holes. I think they could be lighter. They could be very light. And I'm painting it right up to the edge of the paper, but in actual fact that will be hidden, won't it, once it's framed? So probably need to bring that down a little bit further. All right, struggling with this a little bit, I have to say. So I want to lighten up this side of this tree here. This side has some light on it as well, just slightly warmer. Some of this green on it as well, just where the sun's captured it. slight green tinge to that side of that tree. It's kind of reflecting all the forest. Okay. And a little bit on this one. And I do need to sort of fade some of them in and out because they aren't all as obvious as I've made them, these particularly at the back. They kind of disappear almost completely. That's a bit better, I think. It gives a bit better sense of light coming through the back here. Just making marks now and hoping that when I finish they look better. I think it's looking a bit better though. I don't like this. In fact, both of these greens and yellows I started with, I now don't think work. So I'm going to try and fade those out a bit. I'm not worrying about the edges of the trees because I can go back in. Imagine if I get to the end of this and I hate it. Oh. But I think I know what I need to do. Still some light marks down these trees. Some edges. Not on all of them. It's actually quite a light. Looks very sun-kissed there. This, I think, needs to be darker still. But it's quite a strong green. Better. Sharpen up some edges. And then I'm going to come down and do more of my flowers because they will detract from the detail in the background if I've done them, if I do them properly. That mauve comes up to the bottom of that tree. Now I'm going to throw in some bright, what colours do I actually want my flowers to end up? That's quite a nice one on there. Little marks. And they go back, and I'm probably going to have to come back and mark the base of my trees in again. It goes in there. Some lit ones in the background. There's some just here. That bank there. And that would go across here if it was in my picture. There's some here. And I think some of those lovely dark blue ones as well here. Oh, it's a nice colour. There wouldn't be clumps. It's interesting actually, because if you look at bluebell woods, they look very sparse. It's unusual. They're much more like this when you see them. To get a real heavy blanket like that is quite unusual. I want a little bit of detail down here. And I've still got to go in with some of this, the lighter colours. I've got lots of different shapes of marks that are not sitting well with me. These wouldn't be individual marks that you can see. I need to blend those out. Right, it's all very bitty as far as I'm concerned, so I need to make some changes. How do I bring it all together? Little banks of light back there. Through trees. These you wouldn't be able to see the marks of those, so I need to sort that out. What else have we got? That's going to be better. And I think I'm going to use some of that blue. The dark, which one? Oh, that's a little bit of light. I like this. I quite liked this blue. Yes, I like that. I like that colour. A little bit up here where we've got the shadow. Much more sparse here. Oh, I think that's looking a bit better. They don't go anywhere. They would have some of this very light. Some light stuff there. I'm going to put some. There we are. Put a bit of light on that side of the tree because I've made it look now as if some light coming in there. Again, I need to firm up the edges. Of these trees, and I'm using quite a light brown. I don't think it's going to matter too much because there would be a bit of light coming in on the other side as well. This edge doesn't have any foliage over it because it's further forward than everything else. And this edge needs sharpening. I want some soft edges and some hard edges. I'm not entirely happy with it yet. Fairly dark green I want down here. That. And they've got to match. The marks I'm making need to look similar, don't they? And at the moment they don't. Marks would be larger in the front. I think that's a bit better. Okay. Now that goes in there, which means we'd have some light. Is there some nice bright green? Still get it on there. Right. Now I still need to go back and do some stuff here. Okay, I think the foreground's beginning to look okay. I think we can have some brighter ones down here in the foreground. Bring those down a little bit more. Okay. And we'd have a few of this sort of marks down here as well, wouldn't we? Them up a little bit more. I think we need some more grassy colours up here. Now I've still got my background, still got my trees. I quite like this, I think. I think Mike could do with a little bit more light down here. There's still some few little patches of light coming in here, aren't there? Not much. It's so difficult to kind of explain because it's such a subjective thing to do, isn't it? I was trying not to get things too regimented, but equally I don't want them too busy. What's the definition in the darkness in there now? Right. Oh, that's looking better. Want some of that nice blue. All right, so this needs to be kind of darkened up, which hopefully will push it back a bit, and then we need some lighter marks across there. So I'm going to go in with this. It's much darker. I've got some branches coming across. It is much more complicated at the back than I've made it so far. These are so hard, aren't they? So hard. It's quite bright still. I think it's just going to have to do. That doesn't have much Oh, there's enough foliage across there, so let's paint that out. Him in as a sharper. I love that blue. Really love that blue. I haven't quite got the banks of colours in here because they sort of sweep across. Not got that colour. Let's try this colour. More limey. Oh, I might regret this. I think I'm going to call that done. I'm not.
Lovely, Julie.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with it, but I think I've sort of got to the stage where I need to take a break, step back, take a photograph, and then maybe reassess. But I don't think I want to do too much more to it. I really like this, actually. I like the front. I'm still not sure about the trees and whether they're too busy and whether they detract from the foreground. That's how we've ended up. But I'm quite pleased with the foreground. I like the colours. I think those blues and mauves work quite nicely together, don't they? And